Hey, Collab Coach here again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. So, when the feelings of loneliness become too much, if you've been lonely, and I know you've been lonely, like I've been lonely, there's a lot of emotions that come with that loneliness, and that's being sad, feeling like you misunderstood, feeling socially isolated, feeling like you're anxious all the time, and those feelings at first they become small. They're very small. There's some things that you may be that's something that's bearable, but after a while it becomes a burden. It becomes something that you just want to get rid of. It's something that you just are tired of, that you can't take no more of. And a lot of times we tend to do things are that's not healthy for us. We tend to try to find ways to numb that feeling by doing drugs or doing certain things that we are not used to or things that are out of the ordinary, or we put ourselves in the wrongs. In the wrongs, I mean dealing with the wrong people, dealing with being in wrong situations, and being in and stepping into wrong environments that you're not used to, and you know that are not good for you, but because it's something different, you're hoping that you're going to get a feeling that's different to help subside or basically do away with the feelings of loneliness. But I'm here to say that that's not a solution. Those are just you trying to relieve those symptoms. Just like you go to a pharmaceuticals in a supermarket, or you go to some type of doctor's office or anything like that. You're trying to, and you get sick, and you're trying to find something that's going to cure your cold, for example. Most of the times, doctors are not going to give you the absolute cure. They're not going to tell you that this is exactly what you need to do away with that feeling of loneliness. They're going to give you things to help with the symptoms. They're going to help you with things of, well, certain things to help you with reducing the sadness or reducing the anxiety and so on and so forth. But the root cause of your loneliness is not addressed. That root cause of your loneliness is not being brought to the light. And most of the times we don't want it to be brought to the light because it's too difficult to deal with. It becomes unbearable in the sense that if I'm just dealing with this sadness, I'm dealing with the social awkwardness, I'm dealing with anxiety, and it's heavy for me. Just imagine what's causing this is going to be twice as heavy. So I don't want to deal with that altogether. And because we suppress those feelings for so long and we're just trying to deal with the symptoms of the loneliness, it's hurting us. It's hurting us in the long run. We start to look at relationships different. We start to look at people different. We start to look at environments that we're in different. And we become toxic. We try not to be toxic people, but the way we view things, start to attribute to creating toxic behaviors. And those toxic behaviors become toxic habits. And those habits, in the long run, sadly, make you become a toxic person. So I know you're like, well, I didn't know loneliness can cause all this. And I'm saying yes, because you're not dealing with the reason why you're lonely. You're just dealing with the things that you think are causing your loneliness. But we all know, as I talked before in my previous video, that the main reason why you're feeling lonely is because you feel like you are alone in this world. And that does not necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but the way you're seeing it is a bad. The way you feel you attribute being alone is bad because of the fact that there's no self-love within you. You cannot sit by yourself and enjoy yourself. You cannot enjoy yourself, your own company. You cannot enjoy your personality. You cannot enjoy the things that you really like. You cannot enjoy the things that you really love because there's no love within you. And that's what's lacking the most. And that is what's causing your loneliness. Let's put it this way. Let's make it real simple. If you do not know your favorite food, how can you go out and enjoy it? If you do not know what are some of the movies that you really like, the genre that you like, how would you know to go to the movies and watch that movie that will make you really happy? If you are missing that piece, that essential piece, you are not really enjoying yourself, and you can't really say that you're happy, and you can't really say you have been happy in the past because you don't know what that happiness feels like. And that's what the lack of self-love is doing to your life. And that is what's causing the loneliness. So all those feelings, the sadness, the misunderstood, the anxiety, the social awkwardness, that's because of the lack of the self-love. And I'm here to tell you that as soon as you incorporate that self-love in your life, you'll be able to do away with loneliness altogether, because you'll be able to sit with yourself and say, hey, I enjoy my own company. I enjoy time with myself. I enjoy feelings that I'm getting from myself. I may not enjoy myself 100% of the time, but I'm learning to love myself. I'm learning to appreciate myself more. And that's the purpose of self love altogether. So that way you won't have to go through the loneliness cycles. You won't have to become that toxic person because you're not doing toxic behaviors, seeking solutions for your loneliness. You're not creating toxic habits because you've been used to doing toxic behavior for so long, thinking that that's the solution, but all it's been doing is temporarily relieving the symptoms of loneliness. And I'm here to say that the cure, the number one cure for me, the number one cure that I believe for you as well, for loneliness, is self love. So if you feel like you're lacking self love, if you feel like self love is something that you don't have, then I feel like the best thing to do is to sit down and talk about it. Say it out loud. The first thing you can do, say it out loud, because many of us, we go around keeping all this stuff inside. And it's good to keep things inside when you're not ready to say it, but when you feel it knocking in your head, knocking in your heart, you're whenever someone talks about loneliness and emotions of loneliness and self-love, you hear your heart pounding. It's trying to be free. It's trying to be released, but we are scared to say it out loud. So the first thing to do is just say it out loud, and then find someone that you could talk to. It may not be me, but find someone that you could talk to about your loneliness and the lack of self-love in your life. I am here to help you to open that door. And now it's just left for you to walk through it and continue to keep walking in the right direction. So who am I? I am the Collab coach. I focus on relationships, but not only intimate relationships, relationships with your friends, families, neighbors, co-workers, and the most important relationship of all, with yourself. It's January. I'm doing a beautiful special, 50% off any coaching package you choose from. Message me if you want to know what the coaching packages are, and if you're ready to talk about that loneliness that you've been having for such a long time and the lack of self-love that you've been missing in your life. Follow me on Facebook, Collab Coaching, Instagram, Collab Coaching. All my videos are on YouTube, Collab Coaching. And until next time, share this with anyone that you feel like is lacking that self-love and has been in loneliness for too long. That emotion sucks, and I know it does, but there is a solution. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.